Last time I talked about the riskiest prospects, the ones who could totally flame out. But today we're flipping the script. We're talking about the safe bets, the guys who are just built to stick in the league. I've got a solid list for you, and most of these dudes are realistic targets for the Chargers on day one or day two. These are the no drama, do your job, long term NFL guys. We're not chasing hype here. We're looking at production, traits, consistency, the full package. Let's dive in. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. First up, Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan. Now, yeah, I know, we talked about him as a risky pick before, mainly because of that shoulder injury. Didn't test at the combine, showed up in a sling. Michigan's staff even said it impacted his blocking. But here's why I'm still calling him safe. The tape is ridiculous. The guy's a mismatch nightmare. In just 10 games, he racked up 56 catches on 82 targets for 582 yards and 5 touchdowns. And that was in an offense that was flat out broken. Worst QB play in the Big Ten by a mile. Still, Colston Loveland made plays every single week. He averaged 5.2 yards after the catch, 24th in the class. Created 31 first downs, which was 7th among all tight ends. And get this, his 2.67 yards per route run ranked 3rd. Nate Tice even pointed out he was 2nd in first downs per route run. He knows how to beat man. He finds space against zone. Just a super QB-friendly player who turns broken plays into positive yards. Kind of like Ladd McConkey. What kind of player is he? Think Dalton Kincaid, the Utah stud now balling out with the Bills, but bigger. Colston Loveland is 2 inches taller, 25 pounds heavier. Legit NFL frame. Around 20% of his snaps came out wide as an X receiver, and he was torching corners out there. I've graded guys like Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts super high, and honestly, if Loveland had full testing data, he'd be right in that tier. Maybe just a notch below. He's got the separation, the YAC ability, the awareness, you name it. Now, blocking, sure, it's not his strength, but he's not useless. At 19 years old, Jim Harbaugh put him up against Bama for 23 run block snaps, and the kid held his own. He's not Will Dissly, but he can wall off defenders and manage combo blocks just fine. You're drafting him to catch passes. Pair him with a blocking TE and you're golden. Unless he ends up in a disaster situation or injuries stack up, Colston Loveland is going to be a top-tier tight end. Safe bet? All the way. Next up, Derrick Harmon, interior D lineman from Oregon. This dude is built like a tank. 6 feet 4 inches, 313 pounds, nearly 35-inch arms. He didn't fully test, but ran a 4.9540 at his pro day. That's insane for someone his size. What sets Harmon apart is his versatility. Back when he was at Michigan State, he played heavier, 20 to 30 pounds more, and still handled double teams like nothing. Then he moves to Oregon, drops weight, and boom, he's one of the best interior pass rushers in the country. 3rd in pass rush productivity, 4th in win rate. No, he didn't have a stat-stuffing game like Mason Graham did against Bama, but he consistently gave you pressures, run stops, and forced fumbles. That reliability, that's money. And the leadership stuff is real. Emmanuel Sanders from Bootleg Football went to Oregon's pro day and said Harmon walked in as a transfer and instantly became the guy on a defense packed with talent. Jamari Caldwell, Jordan Birch, you name it. For a team like the Chargers who just lost Poona Ford, Derrick Harmon at pick 22 makes perfect sense. He may not flash right away, but he'll be a rock-solid starter for a long time. Now let's move to the offensive line. Tate Ratledge, interior lineman from Georgia. This guy's a fan favorite, and for good reason. 3-year starter. Tested like a freak. Best RAS among all guards, and would have topped the center charts too if he played there. Built like a prototypical NFL guard. His pass blocking efficiency across his career is 99.1. His worst year? Still 98.7. That's elite. Run blocking? Dude's been trending up every year. And he's been Georgia's backup center the whole time too, so he's versatile. On film, he's the best run blocker in this class. Yes, better than Tyler Booker. He can move guys in gap schemes and hit second-level defenders in zone, pulls, climbs, seals, you name it. Pass pro. Quick feet, violent hands, strong anchor. He'll get beat early by elite speed guys like Walter Nolan, but he always resets and finishes the rep. Only real concern is the injury history. An ACL tear in 2022, tightrope surgery in 2024, but he missed just 4 games total. I've got a top 50 grade on Tate Ratledge. He's a plug-and-play guy at guard or center. Let's slide into the secondary now. Jahdae Barron from Texas. He's a tweener, plays slot. Outside, even safety snaps. He's not a freak athlete, but 88th percentile is plenty. What makes him safe? He erases plays. In 3 college football playoff games, he gave up just 33 yards. And when it mattered most, Texas put him on Colston Loveland and he shut him down. That's rare. Barron is physical, tackles like a linebacker, and teams love his character. On tape, he's doing it all. Blitzing, man coverage, zone, whatever's needed. Not the biggest stat sheet guy, 17 PBUS, 2 picks, but he's always making a difference. Not the longest corner, and that's the nitpick. But today's NFL is all about hybrid schemes. And Jahdae Barron thrives there. With a smart coordinator like Jesse Minter or Brian Flores, he'll thrive. He might not be on the board at 22, but wherever he lands, he'll stick. All right, let's talk running backs. First one, Damien Martinez from Miami. He's not flashy. Ran a 4.51, 81st percentile athlete. But he's consistent. 145 carries for 827 yards, 5.7 per attempt, nearly 4 after contact. Forced 34 missed tackles and picked up 53 first downs. That's solid. He put up over 2,000 yards at Oregon State before transferring, so he's proven in different systems: outside zone, gap, inside zone. He's not a burner or a pass game star, but his pass protection's legit. 12th in this class. He doesn't go down on first contact. Reminds me a lot of James Conner, low-key grinder who keeps your offense on schedule. Not flashy, but you'll look up every year and see 800 to 900 yards. Then there's Omarion Hampton from UNC. This guy's a monster. First-round talent all day. 99th percentile athlete. Over 2,300 all-purpose yards this season. Top 10 in rushing and receiving. Forced 50-plus missed tackles. Only Cam Scotabo put up that kind of dual threat production. He's square to the line, has great vision, and bounces off tackles. Runs real routes, too. Whip, angle, wheel, you name it. People say he's better in zone, but I've seen him crush gap runs, too. Honestly, he reminds me of Todd Gurley in his prime. Some throw out Joe Mixon comps, but nah. Hampton's got that creator vibe, not just straight line speed. If the Chargers took him at 22, no complaints. Super safe with a monster ceiling. And finally, back to the secondary. Azareye'h Thomas from Florida State. Over 6 feet, plays with attitude, loves to tackle. Ran a 4.58, not elite, but more than fine. Gave up just 8.3 yards per catch and a 50.2 passer rating. That's locked down stuff. He made a huge leap this year when Jaron Jones and Renardo Green moved on. Now he's pressing receivers, showing great instincts in zone, and flying up against the run. He's a little stiff in the hips, sure, but compared to other day 2 corners, Benjamin Morrison with the injuries, Savion Rell's ACL, Maxwell Hairston's shaky tape, Azareye'h Thomas feels like the safest bet. Might never be a top 5 corner, but top 12? Very possible. And yeah, no receivers made this list. That group's kind of all over the place this year. But if I had to throw one in, it'd be Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State. Clean film, elite blocker, ran a 4.48, 9.72 RAS. He's got that Lad McConkey energy, smart, gritty, dependable. Would fit perfectly as a Z receiver in a Jim Harbaugh offense. So who'd I miss? Drop your safe picks in the comments, and let's talk football.